Hello guys and welcome back. In this video I'm going to talk about a game called Lords of the Fallen, and before we even begin, don't forget to subscribe and the like button down below. I would really appreciate it. I know it's been a couple of years since the game has been released, but those games has a different taste. So let's get into this. Enjoy watching. Lords of the Fallen is actually a role-playing video game developed by Deck13 Interactive and C Games. It was released on October 2014 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Microsoft Windows. A mobile version of the game, which features one-to-one swipe combat controls, was released on February 9, 2017 for iOS and Android as a paid game with in-app brushes. A player's journey through a mysterious, large, interconnected environments, battling basically disfigured enemies, including bosses, using a melee weapons such as axes and hammers. Players control Harkyn as he is sent on the mission to stop a powerful god's mysterious demonic forces as they invade the world to reclaim it after being dethroned. The game is set in a world long after the defeat of a god named Adir that formerly ruled humanity with an iron fist by their heroes, a cleric and warrior who later became known as the judges and were elevated to the status of demigods, and usually all sins are punished, even small and petty ones. A player's take on the role of Harkyn, a convicted criminal whose sins are visible on his face in the form of runes. Harkyn is released from prison by a monk named Kozlo in order to stop the mysterious invasion of Adir's demonic forces, the Rogar, into a monastery near the hand of the god mountains, literally the hand of the fallen god. He comes across a number of powerful beings called Rogar Lords, who are invading from unknown place into the human realm with the help of an explorer named Yataka. He is able to discover the location of the pathway, a portal to the Rogar realm, a former temple of Adir that was banished to the another dimension by the judges and sealed into the monastery. Harkyn travels to the Rogar realm where he meets the crafter, an immortal extra-dimensional being whose crystal of travels was stolen by the Rogar. He fights through the realm and takes back the crystal, stopping the invasion. When he returns to the monastery, he is tasked by Antanas, the leader of human forces, to slay Adir, who has revived once again. However, he discovers a sign that Antanas is up to no good and fights a monster of unknown origins. Harkyn enters the Chamber of Lies, a Rogar realm, and unlocks the path to unusual demon that Yatka says is linked to her family. He can choose to kill it or to let Yatka live with it. Finally, he defeats the final lord and speaks to Adir, who tells him that humanity needs a god to preserve order, showing Antanas imbibing a poison and turning into a Hades monster is an example of a human fallings. And for the gameplay, it is a third-person action role-playing game containing a slow tactical approach to close quarters combat gameplay with difficult enemies and locations to overcome while learning from their encounters. The player takes the role of Harkyn, as I already mentioned before, who from the beginning can be tailored towards the player's preferred combat styles from a range of different classes, each with their own specialization in certain weapons, armors, spells, and abilities. A class is determined based on two major choices of their kind of magic: brawling, deception, and solace, followed by the second choice of their different armor set: warrior, recue, and cleric. A different combination of both choices allow the player to choose who to play. Harkyn from the start with sets. The warrior uses a heavy, strong armor and weapons. The recue is much lighter and quicker, and the cleric outlines stuff and armor that support spell use. Magic adds to the variability of each class. For example, a warrior set combined with a brawling magic creates a poor warrior with high strength, while a warrior set can also be combined with the solace magic to create a paladin class that is not strong but can specialize in spell usage. early in the game. As the player progresses through the game and defeats enemies, experience can be gained and spent to upgrade Harkyn's skill and unlock new spells to use in combat. The game is divided into acts, with hopes and non-linear gameplay progress session through the main central story, with the new areas constantly opened as the player progresses, while also being allowed to return to the previously completed areas. However, each new areas has a multiple paths, hidden locations, and optional shortcuts and secrets to uncover along the way. The player will also encounter non-player characters who offer a further information, a lore, and many in cases grant additional tasks to the player for more rewards. In a dialogue, the player can also make choices with certain characters and their quest. The game utilized a checkpoints system that the player must locate and can choose to save it, replenish consumable items such as healing potions, and upgrade their character. Lords of the Fallen uses a risk and reward system. When it comes to upgrading Harkyn, the amount of the experience the player can gain for use can be increased through a multiplayer that builds up the longer the player mixes up combo, attacks, or avoids using a checkpoints and spending their experience. If a checkpoint is used, the multiplayer will reset. If the player dies during a combat, they will appear at the last checkpoint they used, but the previously defeated non-boss enemies respawning back in the original location across in the game world and losing any unspent experience they have gained since they last spent any. At this point, a timer will begin requiring the player to return to the spot they last died in order to regain what they previously lost. However, if the timer runs out or if the player dies again before reaching this point, the unspent experience they had lost before will be lost for good. And I will leave you here to watch some of the gameplay. And that was it for this video. Thank you all for watching and thank you for your support, and I will see you next time. Bye.